Good morning all, and welcome to AndesMETS November webinar series. It is a pleasure to welcome you all, and we look forward to a really engaging month of introductions. This is a really important series of events for AndesMETS, and we're a pleasure to have you here today. The purpose of this series is to create a range of conversations to stimulate and develop cross-continent collaborations. We encourage you to ask questions. More importantly, we encourage you to reach out and start a conversation with the many companies that we will be introducing you to. Be it that you are simply interested to know more about capability, or perhaps you see an opportunity to collaborate. This new world has made video conferencing so easy. So there are no excuses. Reach out and let's have a chat. In any case, let me tell you a little bit about AndesMETS. This is an organization that represents some of the most innovative companies emerging from LATAM. All these companies are proudly owner-run businesses who understand the importance of developing long-term relationships and thrive on innovation. This webinar series is part of an invitation to introduce the capabilities of each of their members to the Australian market. Its purpose is to start a conversation and build mutually beneficial collaborations. The group of companies represents a highly diverse set of capabilities, and each webinar, we had one last week, will focus on showcasing two companies. We look forward to having you, the audience, join us not only for today, but the following two webinars that we will be having over the next couple of weeks. And we encourage you to go back to YouTube or our website to take a look at the webinar we actually held last week. So let's move on with the show. It is a pleasure to introduce Mauro Mesano, the president of AndesMETS. Mauro, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, Rick. Good morning. Good evening, everyone. And thanks for your introduction. And please let me welcome everybody to this second session of our innovation webinar series that we have prepared with AndesMETS to show in four stages, each time two different companies that will show their strengths and insights towards two main audience, mining companies and also potential partners in terms of other METS that could be in the audience and could be, as you mentioned, doing some partnership with them in both ways. AndesMETS was created with the purpose to be the catalyzer for the METS internationalization, but promoting associativity and providing innovative solutions and technologies for a better mining for the world. Each one of the members have a very specific process to be recruited, following four main attributes. They need to be seriously global, clearly innovative and differentiated in their products and services, and they need to be highly collaborative, and they need to have an ethics at 100% level. Today, we're going to hear the speech of two very interesting companies. First of all, we will hear FMA with a very innovative product, which is a tile handler. And then we will hear about Balmoral, which is a very interesting and international operator logistics company. So thanks again, and let's start hearing these interesting speeches.
So thank you very much, Mauro. I really appreciate your introduction, and thank you for the opportunity to work with AndesMETS. I know when you and I first started talking about this about 6 months ago, certainly I thought it was a great idea. And two, I think the group of companies that have gathered and are continuing to add to AndesMETS represent some of the best innovations. So as Mauro says, the first presentation will be by Gonzalo Restini. Gonzalo is the principal of FMA. FMA is a manufacturer of specific range of mining equipment that is used in some of the largest open pit mines in the world, not just small ones, but some of the largest ones. FMA focuses on addressing specific material handling challenges in tire handling of mining haulage trucks and cable reelers to support the movement of giant shovels. So I could spend hours talking about this, but I think the best step forward is to get Gonzalo to present. So Gonzalo, welcome to the webinar and look forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Rick, for the introduction. I'm gonna start sharing my screen now.
Hey.
So let me know if you can see it right. Well, my name is Gonzalo Restini. I'm the Executive Director of FMA. We are a company based in Chile. We've been around for 25 years now with 2 factories, one in Santiago and the other one in the mining region of Antofagasta. And what we do is we build attachments for the mining industry, for the world. As I'm going to show you later, we have presence in many countries and mining regions in the world. We basically have 2 product lines, 2 main product lines. The first one are cable reelers, which provide electromobility to shovels and drillers within the mines. And the second one are tire handlers, which are obviously used to manage mining tires. We have different models, different versions, and different configurations. We're able to do that because the thing that differentiates FMA from the rest of the competition is that we are the only company in this space that it's 100% focused on the mining industry. And that's very, very important because it means that we are able to develop long-term relationships with our customers. That means we can as you can see, we're working with BHP, Rio Tinto, Barrick, Vale, Antofagasta Minerals, Anglo American, all major miners in all major mining areas in the world are working with FMA. And we're able to provide service to our machines by having a network of customer service and representatives which fulfill that in all major mining regions in the world. This is the case study that we wanted to share with you. This is called the SBTH for Tire Handler 4000, which is FMA's flagship product. It actually won the National Innovation Award in Mining in 2019, and it's a unique patented tire management technology. This looks to solve a difficult issue in mining, which is, as I'm going to show you later, the risk of being exposed to the fall of a mining tire over a person, which causes many accidents around the world, some of them fatal. And it's disruptive because of 2 reasons. It's not only more efficient, but it's safer. And not solely safer, but it's more efficient, which is pretty remarkable. The unit, this particular unit that I'm going to show you was developed for BHP Australia during last year, and it's going to start operations very, very soon in Western Australia. This is the major problem, and this is actually a picture taken in Australia. The person who's managing tires, taking out the rims, working on the tire is exposed. It's very obvious why, no? The fall, if a tire falls, sorry, over a person, it's probably a fatal accident or a major one list. And this is a concept that we worked with, and we were able to solve it with a functional unit. There you see the platform where the people that are working on the tire can do their job being closer to the tire and in a safe position. They are safe because there's a platform, as you can see in the concepts there, that enable them to be in a safe position, not subject to the risk of a tire falling over them. And we can provide that, or we were able to solve that by having this 90-degree vertical arm movement, which bends the tire and enables the operator to, or the operators to be closer to the tire and working from a safe space. As I said, we had a prototype before this particular unit that we're talking about here, which was developed for Escondida here in Chile for BHP as well, and that caught the attention of BHP Australia. We traveled there in 2018 showing this concept, and they decided to start working with us. They came to Chile to visit our operations in 2019, and that's how we started working. We were invited to visit both East and Western Australia to show this concept and gather ideas and feedback from the operations in order to improve the concept. And then we started designing the unit during the end of 2019 and throughout 2020 in order to build what BHP was looking for, very specifically in a detailed and long-haul process and project, as I said in the beginning, because we like to say we understand miners very well, and that's why we can build these projects with them. Now this unit is already in Australia. It's in Area C mining in Pilbara, Western Australia, and it's gonna start operations anytime soon. I expect this to happen in the next few weeks. We've been training and setting up things for months now, and besides that, this unit that we designed for BHP Australia, variations of it are already working in Las Bambas in Peru, in Bali in Brazil, in Radomiro Tomic in Chile, and Los Bronces, which is an Anglo-American operation in Chile as well. And what are the results of this project? It's the combination of two very important things. The first one is safety, which is the most important thing in mining, modern mining, because of the platform that I already showed you. The people that are operating with a tire are safe. No risk of being under a tire falling into them. And the second one, we're able to achieve faster speed as well, because operators are working not only in a safe space, but in a more convenient way of approaching the tire. They're able to do their job faster. We have tested and timed that every tire that goes into the tire shop that it's taken out by using this technology, this particular technology, takes 1.5 hours less to service. Every second is around $2 of increased productivity. That means $200,000 of increased productivity and margin for every truck in a regular copper mine in Chile. Do your job or do your math, calculating what it means to your particular operation. That's basically it. We build this patented breakthrough technology in tire management, especially for BHP Australia, which we expect to be the beginning of a long journey of going into the Australian market, developing all the rest of our technologies, and starting a very productive and long haul journey in Australia for FMA and back, probably. That's basically our presentation. We're open to your questions, doubts. Please let us know. We're here to answer everything you may want to ask. Thank you very much.
Gonzalo, muchas gracias por una presentación bien detallada en cuanto a la capacidad de FMI. Por supuesto, esto es otro gran ejemplo.
Rick, you're speaking in Spanish.
Yes, gracias. Everybody just reminded me that I'm actually talking in Spanish, so I deeply apologize, and I come back to English. So, Gonzalo, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today, and also for your presentation. I think it's another great example of the type of innovation coming from Latin America. For me, it's quite interesting. I was born in Chile, and I either think in Spanish or I think in English. And
I can see that. I can see that, Rick.
Yeah, and I think sometimes my wife, who was born in London, sometimes reminds me that she's not Chilean, and I got to come back to English. So, Gonzalo, look, great presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's interesting. How did the relationship with BHP actually started?
Well, we were thinking about going to Australia. I think from 2015. So we started traveling there actually with a group that Mauro and Endeavor, which you may know, it's a group of entrepreneurs, a network of entrepreneurs put together back in 2017. So we traveled with a group of mining companies to understand and take a closer look to the Australian market, talking to METS, talking to universities, talking to some other providers and mining companies as well. So we got a sense of how important the opportunity was and how challenging the idea of going to Australia was. Later, we sent a team to the Mackay Fair, the annual fair, mining fair. So in order to get a better yield for our visit, I happened to talk to Mauro again as well. So the idea was to get more meetings for our team while they were there, and we happened to get very good meetings with first of all with the BHP tire specialist team, which is in Brisbane, and some other meetings, some other very productive meetings. We showed them this specific concept, which at the time was competing for the national award in mining in Chile in 2019. So it was very engaging. As I said in my presentation, it was developed for Escondida, the first prototype, and we showed it to that particular team, and it caught their attention in Brisbane. This is the vertical team for tire management in BHP. And later, a few months later, there was an accident which involved a person that was actually in the fire line, as I said. So this raised the priority of some kind of solution in order to take that person out of the fire line. So the people from BHP, the team that's led by Craig Mason and Eugene Chai, talked to us and said, guys, we want to visit you. We want to go to Chile, understand how you're working, what are you doing. We want to get to know your team, your facilities, your technology. And they came here to stay for a week or so with the Otraco team as well, which provides service to them in the tire management duties. and then they decided to invite us to, and this is very exciting, to show this particular unit to the 14 BHP operations within Australia. We went to Eastern Australia and then to Western Australia to show to these teams. So we got insights, we got feedback, and then we started designing. And that took us a long time. It was a long haul project, but we designed this unit specifically for BHP that is coming into operations right now. So it was, as I said, this started back in 2017. I hope we see the fruits of our efforts, joint efforts with BHP, with Odraco as well, in the next few weeks.
Well, thank you, Gonzalo. It's interesting, when I was CEO of METS Ignited, part of the work that we were doing was to explore collaboration opportunities for Australian METS all over the world. And part of that process was to kind of review the innovation ecosystems in places like Canada and Chile. And I hadn't been back to Chile for about 20 or 30 years. And I was super impressed with the way that innovation was progressing in Chile and the way that the major mining companies were engaging with Expande and other groups to provide those challenges, which is something that's been copied by Australia and is just starting to start here. And so I think that Gonzalo and FMA is one example of that level of innovation that we see coming from LATAM. There's a couple of more questions. Gonzalo, we probably got another 1 more minute, 2 more minutes. But some of the questions that are coming through, perhaps one more. And that really goes back to the challenges. 2020, 2021 with COVID, it's been really difficult. And your engagement with Australia, I mean, what's that 2022 look like for you? Are you able to progress collaboration in this COVID world?
Yeah, it's been tough, and that has been that made our progress probably much slower than we thought, because it's not easy to set up or fine tune a prototype while you are so far away. The time zones are completely different. Well, the issues. In some other normal times, we should have sent a team of professionals from our company, and probably the setup would have been faster. But we take that as professionally as we can, by Zoom, working long hours in different time zones, and it has worked in the end. It takes a lot of effort from both sides, but we can do it. And I think that has made every company in the mining world stronger now, because we can deal with these issues. And we're going to come out of this, I'm sure, it's stronger. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. That's what they say,
Yes, Nishiki was an insightful man. So I totally agree with you. What doesn't kill you will make you stronger. So thank you very much, Gonzalo. Look forward to keeping our conversations going. And we'll progress with the next presentation, which will be Balmoral. Christian Garces is a good friend, and he has a really interesting company. I'll let Christian sort of take you through the journey. But we all know that in the mining industry, logistics isn't simple logistics. We've got lots of things that can fit in containers. But when we're trying to install large equipment internationally, when we're trying to get them into difficult locations, thousands of meters above sea level, you need a trusted partner to be able to help you get there. And so Balmoral is a really interesting company, because not only do they do all the logistics, they're very well connected in Chile and Latin America, and they can be a partner with many really interesting different features and values that they can provide you. So without any further ado, I'll hand over to Christian. Christian, good to see you again.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Christian Garces. I'm the founder and CEO of Balmoral. First, I would like to introduce myself and my company to you. Well, after 20 years working at leading multinational corporations in Latin America in the logistics sector, I decided to set up Balmoral. Initially, we were dedicated to provide logistics and international freight. But today, Balmoral is much more than that. We collaborate with our clients at 3 different levels of services, which I'm going to explain later during my presentation. Today, Balmoral is also part of AndesMETS, a nonprofit association formed in Chile, whose objective is to support METS companies in their internationalization process. But today, I'm going to speak about a brief on the copper mining business in Chile, how Balmoral can collaborate with Australian companies, some of Balmoral business experiences, and Balmoral now based in Australia as well as in Chile. The total investment in mining from years 2020 to 2029 will be near 75 billion US dollars. As you know, Chile is the world leading copper producer, has about 30% of the world's annual copper share, produces around 6 million tons per year, reaches annual sales of more than 30 billion US dollars, and has approximately 30% of the world's identified reserves. Some of the challenges of copper mining in Chile. First, as you know, copper grade keeps falling, which means there will be new demands on services and products. There is a transition from oxides to sulfides. There's a lack of water, the need to reduce energy consumption, safety with no accidents, electromobility, digital transformation, circular economy, and other environmental needs. So there are many challenges in the world's leading copper mining country, but obviously many opportunities. Our core service is logistics. We provide international freight transportation services along with solving all related logistics needs, but we also add value through services such as matchmaking Australian and Chilean companies with potential partners, and when they're ready, to support with soft landing services. So we collaborate by providing support in 3 areas of trade for the Australian and Chilean METS. And we do it by connecting places with places, which means international logistics and freight transportation services. But we also connect companies with companies by putting together companies from Australia and Chile in order to develop business relationships between both countries. And third, by connecting companies with places, which means to support with soft landing services in the destination country. Some of Balmoral milestones are, in 2011, we were set up in Chile. 2013, FedEx Trade Network chooses us as its representatives in Chile. In 2016, we started services for companies with large industrial projects. 2019, we started development of the mining sector between Australia and Chile. 2020, we implemented new services under the new concept connecting companies and places. And recently in 2021, we just set up our office in Australia. We have a wide experience in different sectors, but just wanted to mention some of them. From left to side, we just started services and operations for a company based from Queensland that is selling its first equipments to Chile. Also, in geothermal plants, we have imported 3 power plants from Israel and some other places of the world to Chile for a project to be built at an altitude of 4,500 meters over sea level in the region of Antofagasta, Chile. We have been exporting dump truck trays from a Chilean manufacturer to an Australian client, importing photovoltaic power plants from different places of the world to Chile, exporting electrowinning concrete cells to clients in Europe, and finally connecting companies between Australia and Chile. We started with a project called Sour Bridge, which meant to connect 20 Chilean mining suppliers with Australian companies with the objective of bringing technologies and products from Australia to Chile. From the experiences and clients that we just mentioned, we just wanted to highlight the geothermal power plant, which is an icon for us. We mobilized 3 power plants in a range of 4.5, 5 years, and we mobilized about 70,000 cubic meters of equipment. The plant was built at an altitude of 4,500 meters over sea level. And finally, the client evaluated our work as very professional, that provided excellent support in all stages of the planning, coordination, and execution, delivering exceptional orientation in the process of local internment and logistics. So we're ready for the 4th plan, hopefully. This was our presentation, Balmoral Connecting Companies and Places. We'll be happy to connect with you if you need some help to land and to explore new opportunities in Chile. Thank you very much.
Cristian, muchas gracias por una presentación. Como siempre, Cristian, thank you very much for a great presentation. As always, very impressive in terms of your capabilities and your requirements and your services. Cristian, with all the COVID scenario at the moment, what's it like to do business in Chile in terms of logistics at the moment?
Thank you, Rick, and thank you, everybody. Well, the scenario in Chile, as you know, all the world is, having difficult situations, and the pandemic has affected. But Chile is not away of that. Of course, we have faced the same situation. But I think the economy, the scenario, is not as been as bad as we may thought, because, for example, we have had an increase of the dollar rate, and that has helped the mining industry, as has generated more jobs, more demand of products and supplies, and the economy has been maintaining in a very good shape at the moment. That would say that, basically.
Thank you. And look, I'm just looking at the questions that are popping up at the moment. There's one here emerging around, you spoke about Balmoral helping Australian companies do business in Chile. So that's one of the new streams that you talked about in your presentation, from a sort of very historical, logistically centric business to also creating introduction. How is that working? What can an Australian company expect from you, from Balmoral, in your ability to introduce to the Chilean market?
Well, about 2 years ago, we decided to implement a different concept of business and services, and we call it Connecting Companies and Places. And this means that we're not only a transportation and logistics company, we're really helping companies to explore or expand in Chile and Latin America. So what we do first, for example, for companies who are just starting or they just want to explore to do business in Latin America, as I mentioned before, we have 3 different levels of services. So the first thing we do is try to connect those companies with companies in Chile, or vice versa. So they can speak, start a conversation, they can try to do a matchmaking. And so we do that today. We do that today with many Chilean and Australian companies. But when they're ready, we provide of our core business, which is logistics. So we provide services specifically, for example, of international transportation, air and ocean. We do custom import and export process, depending on the site. We take care about the insurances related. We do warehousing, distribution, and all the logistics chain, controlling their products and their deliveries to the final clients. And some of the companies, when they're ready and they want to land by themselves, for example, we go to the 3rd level of services by connecting companies with places. And what we do, we help them to do the soft landing. So we connect them with specialists in each of the fields. For example, legal advisors, attorneys, accountants, companies that do market surveys. And we provide a package of solutions of very well-reputed companies. So at the end of the day, what we do is we try to help the companies in order to expand internationally by providing three different levels of services, which is connecting companies with places, connecting companies with companies, and places with places.
Thank you very much, Christian. You mentioned you're setting up an office in Australia. Is that office been up? When are you opening that office? And are you thinking of actually moving to Australia?
Well, thank you for the question, Rick. Yeah, we have been working for about 2 years in developing this project and implementing our services in Australia, but not only in Chile. So in last October, we just opened our office in Australia. The headquarters is based in Melbourne, but we're serving clients from different places of Australia, like in Queensland, New South Wales, and probably in the future from Western Australia. So the idea is to be closer to the clients in Australia to provide support, service, and communication in the same way that we do it with our customers in Chile. And our management team, we're moving to Australia in early next year, by the middle of January. So we're going to handle both operations together.
Well, Christian, I really look forward to seeing you over here. I think there's a couple of bottles of wines that we need to drink, and I look forward to sharing that with you. I'll make a point of traveling to Melbourne. As you know, I'm based in Adelaide. So, Christian, thank you very much. All of those that are interested in learning a little bit more about what Balmoral can deliver, and certainly what FMA can deliver, look, go to the AndesMETS website. You'll find all the details. We'll probably be posting the details at the end of this webinar, and we'll probably be sending you some additional information post this webinar as well. Mauro, I know you're still there. From your perspective, any additional comments to two great presentations?
Thanks, Rick. Yes, we are very proud of Christian and Gonzalo and what they have developed in a moment that logistics and safety, it's even more critical than always with the situation that COVID has brought. So yes, I just wanted to thank both of them. Thank you too. Looks like you're a bit homesick from Chile because you started twice to speak in Spanish. So that's good to hear too. And now, thanks to everybody who joined today the presentation, and we'll be waiting for them next week, same day, same time.
Thank you, Mauro. And yes, you're right. Every time I talk to you regularly, and I tend to switch between English and Spanish, and sometimes you just forget where you're at. So, Mauro, as always, look, it's a pleasure talking to you guys, and congratulations to FMA, and congratulations particularly to Balmoral also. You know, two companies that are coming from a part of the world that sometimes we forget. You know, some of the biggest, in actual fact, some of the biggest copper mines in the world are sitting in LATAM, and some of the most amazing innovation is also coming from there. And we all share the same problems. The mining industry has some very unique problems that you don't find anywhere else. And it's great to see this collaboration across continents. So to all you attending the webinar, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Christian and Gonzalo, for your great presentations. Mauro, always a pleasure. And to all of you out there, we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you very much.